What's up YouTube, COD49221 here, and welcome back to another Kind of Heroes 2 online replay. So as you can see here, we do have this, basically did a 300 megabyte update today to offer these little videos about the United States forces and the Oberkommando West, or OKW for short. The problem is, your replays do not save, so this is my last played game. I'm going to show you guys this replay, but basically, your replays you can't save your replays. They kind of messed it up. It's just kind of weird right now. So let's go into this. This is almost a complete, I think it was like video number 4 of mine. Just keep in mind the rank system, that's level 100, level 100, level 90, level 100. So we have level 100, 100, 100, and I was lower 192 there. So keep that in mind. These are good players that were playing this match here. So I'm gonna be fighting in the southern map of the steppes here. I've been playing this map since literally the beta of Kind of Heroes 2. Okay, so cool, that's a taskbar. So I've gone with the armored assault tactics. So I'm gonna be getting some heavy armor in this match. I figure, this is pretty useful with the vehicle crew repairs, and it's also good because I can see the Wehrmacht as they're building their infantry companies that are now going up. And also the radio ships are pretty good. Pretty good indeed. You also have heavy armor, but this is more of a late game kind of like, okay, you're pushing hard, you need some more heavier armor, like some T-3485s or some IS-2s. So every Soviet player has a decision. They can either do a special rifle command or support. Now, if you're doing a 2 versus 2, I probably shouldn't be pausing right. If you're doing a 2 versus 2, it's good to have 1-1. Because you're not only getting the scout car, sniper, penal tropes, but you're also getting the machine gun and anti-tank. So, at this point, my allies were pointing saying, this guy asked for my help in the south, so I'm going to give it to him. And these guys are going to go take the middle. The way this map usually works is the field caches are the big fights. You can see 2 of their players, I think you call it dark red and orange, are going down in the south. There's usually a big fight in the center and a big fight up here. Usually for instance, green would probably take this middle victory point, but you're really fighting for the field in the beginning because that's what's very important. That's what help keep you. Keep you there. So I have the that'll keep you moving, teching up, and also fuel can never hurt you. So you can see we have a couple units moving down. He's a machine gun and some combat engineers. Look at the amount of forces that are coming down here. MG, more pioneers, grenadiers, and MG. So Jack went with the Grenadiers to cover him from scout cars, and Peter went for double MGs. Now, I am coming flanking from this side toward the center. I'm seeing some minor skirmishes. Now, keep in mind, these guys are going to lose, even though they might be in cover. They might win that, but these guys have a light cover also, so at that range, they will push those guys back. So, you can see we're having a heavy infantry, heavy concentration of MGs covering the field. That's a pretty good thing. And this guy's getting pushed back. He really just has to stand. He got kind of screwed there because these guys are pinned and he's got to pull them back, and they're just gonna run right around him. I should have intercepted. That was my fault there. I should have intercepted and shot those guys. But I'm trying to help him out. I see an MG and into fog guards. These guys tag him. I'm going, oh my goodness. So basically, I have my scout car going to flank around him and his MGs, but there's 2 of them, and he also has a Panzer Grenadier. Very easy for them to Panzer fast me. So we're getting pretty much. That's kind of, most of us are not in that kill zone there, but we get pinned. These guys right here, they're getting pinned. These guys have taken his MG. I'm trying to micromanage. I'm using T now to retreat a lot of my troops. You can't actually, yeah, he's also a very good important one. So machine gun turned on my conscripts here. They're getting decimated. I'm not having good infantry preservation in the beginning of this match here, and I lost my conscript squad. So I say, oh my gosh, I just lost. I got my penal troops out there, but I lost those guys. I gotta pull back. He's sending up a second MG. This is not going too well in the beginning here. We're completely getting pushed back in the south. More Grenadiers are showing up. The center is also lost with a bunch of Grenadiers. These guys pretty much Gren spammed. You can see they have a ton of Grenadiers, especially Grenadiers and Pioneers. And they also have a... They stole... One of those, I was like, what the hell? Because I saw Germans. It looks so weird for Germans in the scout cars, right? So I basically, here's what I did. I set up these guys here. I'm upgrading my guys with a flamethrower. I am not done. I am not going to abandon the south. Look, this kind of glitches my men supposed to get in the vehicle there. Okay, they're all in there. I see my allies making another push with his Maxim. I'm going to come right forward here, and I'm going to try to Click some attack orders. They're shooting at those guys and not the primary target of the MG here. No Grenadiers are around to Panzerfaust me, so I'm going to keep spraying at them. We've taken quite a lot of damage, which surprises me that we've taken this much damage, but I know I'm pretty screwed here. I was trying to click D and to get out of there, but, you know, we managed to... oh, that's what it's doing. There's an MG right here, so I had to fall back. Luckily, I got to keep my flamethrower. Flamethrowers are very effective. I got more penal troops popping up. Heavy fighting in the south. MGs on this side. Recapturing. The Germans are now building a bunker here. Could be a defensive bunker, but they're actually going to make it to become a reinforcement bunker. The center is lost. They are taking shots at our fuel up here. So you can see this is not going very well for us right now. And then if it isn't bad, so, Pink over here, Lion, is having no problems and absolutely destroying me, and I got to fall back with this unit here. Yeah, I did not have the best infantry preservation here. This T button is working, and I'm just like, oh. It's not going very well. And I'm just like, when these guys are beat up, Grenadiers and they're standing still, they'll just absolutely decimate you. So I'm throwing a Satchel Charge here, at least to get them from away from the cover there. And surprisingly, these guys just stopped shooting, and we also have the machine gun helping me, and I have more of these troops. You can see I'm almost spamming penal troops here. They're a lot better than conscripts. So we have some heavy artillery. We're using our field gun on this side. These guys had to fall back. The Germans now have a sniper. So they've got all heavy tier 1. Look, these guys have not built any kind of secondary light to mechanized company. These guys did Supreme Commander. And they are here. Now we are countering with a lot of machine guns and snipers. That will stop a Grenadier spam. You can see in the south with the combination of the MGs and my penal troops helping. Look at this. I knew I was going to get shredded here, so I just wanted to throw a Satchel Charge on these guys. And 2, 1, boom! Veteran Z1, you can see their little mortar got tossed there. So if I can take out your support, I'm going to do it. I'll pull my guys back, no problem. Then the German scout car comes in. I'm like, what the hell is there a German scout car? I notice I'm getting a lot of fuel, so I'm going to move these guys back down south because I want to do another scout car thing. And then I'm going to train another one of these combat engineer squads there to train up to get an Su-85. No, actually, I'm going to go for I'm going for the T-34s this time. That's right. So I'm going to get the Cavalry Battalion in command. So these guys are shooting at each other. Notice how they fire and then they stop. I just got lucky there, was able to destroy the scout car there. Barely any health, gonna pull back. Mortar was even trying to take me out too. So interesting setup here with MGs. So you can kind of protect against scout cars and pretty much infantry there. Not a bad setup. Sounds completely lost. I'm like, why the hell are they taking all of our equipment? So you can say I'm trying to help my ally. He keeps sending in troops here, but we've just been completely pushed back. They took this point. At this point, Cyan is coming to help us from the north. He's also kind of helping with Green to like take this fuel back. We do not want the Germans having 2 fuel, or we are screwed. So I have a bunch of troops. We are kind of pushing back down again. I'm setting them piecemeal, which is probably not the best idea. And then I see a sniper, and I tried clicking a manual attack order on him, but you can see he was right on the machine gun there, so my guys are trying to garrison the machine gun. Because I'm right here, I could probably take him out. And the Germans took the max. Here's what they're doing. They're taking their equipment, and then they were reinforcing right there. And using Pioneers. So I lost another... I've just lost a ton of men in this match so far. Look, what am I? Negative 11. Germans are generally positive for their... see the damage going up. Germans are generally positive. So I see the scout car, and I'm like, oh, I don't want any piece of that, because those scout cars, they can do a lot of damage to these. These will pretty much shred those units. So I see a bunch of Grenadiers. I'm not such a fan of that. I do want to get rid of the sniper here, so I'm trying to click like an attack order on him, and we're just missing. And then the flames get spread on him. And it's just kind of too late at this point. Got hit with a Panzerfaust in the back, and this guy just got completely wiped out. So that was kind of a fail on my part. Also, this incendiary ammo is a great deal of damage. So, around this point, I start thinking, okay, they're doing exactly what I did in like my number 4 video. I was in the south as the Germans here. I had a lot of bunkers, you know, a ton of infantry, heavy tier 1. These guys are all on it. They should know what they're doing. We have a ton of fuel caches. Thankfully, from this guy, Danny. Yep, Dan. Oh, no, actually, sorry, it was Haluki. Who's Danny on our team? Yeah. So I'm building basically a get some T-34s here because they have one anti-tank here. They just have a bunch of machine guns, and they took our anti-tank. I mean, that's all it takes. Then I kind of tried to help the center by flanking and just pushing these guys back. I want to make it a little bit hard for them to take back the field here because they already had the south pretty much. Oh, that airplane went down. Now I just got to pull my guys back. Veteran C2 scout car there. Did throw a grenade, and I forced his grenadiers back, or they would have gone completely blown up. So, let's keep in mind, none of these guys have any anti-tank, except for the one they stole in the south. They have a bunch of machine guns. This is a machine guns. Bam! There's 4 machine guns this guy has, and then this guy has 1 machine gun. 4 machine guns, even if you captured one, right, that's still way too heavy for a machine gun. You're going to get easily overwhelmed. I mean, 1 tank can get around you, so I'm going to get some T-34s right now. My allies are thinking the same thing. Bunch of T-34s. This guy's going to get some SUs. And look, we even have a T-34 out before 10 minutes. Remember that 10-minute rule. That should be like a thing on a Country Heroes 2 like pamphlet for strategy. 10-minute rule. Just remember that. Tanks will come out within 10 minutes practically. Sometimes even less. Depends on the field. They're doing a good job upgrading their men. I mean, not enough players upgrade their grenadiers with MG-42s because they just make them very deadly, especially on the higher levels, higher veterancies. Look at that. He just killed those snipers with the rifle grenade. Whenever they have a rifle grenade and you have snipers nearby, just move them. Same thing with the mortar. If they have a mortar, you've got to move your guys. So, at this point, they're pushing. I'm a little angry that we pretty much got our butt kicked so far. So I see these guys are pushing towards the fuel cache with the fog of war. You can kind of see they're kind of creeping up, and I'm like, you know what? No machine guns. They can't panzerfaust me. What are they going to do? I have some engineers nearby. Not a big deal. I'm trying to flank on this side, and also going to try to throw a satchel charge. And I do that, pull out. Just my thing. Call the satchel charge, pull out. In fact, we didn't actually get the satchel charge off there. We're still creeping up. Okay, so I managed to throw the satchel charge. Gonna pull back, retreat. Veteran C2 machine gun is gonna die. And it's gone. So, I moved out my tank and just started shooting at him. I'm pretty sure an anti-tank is going to be moving up right now, possibly 1 or 2. So I didn't want to push my luck here. I mean, they saw my tank there. They're going to move up their ATs thing. I'm just going to be bold and just brazenly charge forward and get myself killed. Nope, that's not how I am. So at this point, I'm getting reports of Panzer IVs coming in. If you even click on this, it actually tells you where it's coming in. That's not a fog of war thing. Apparently, it is a fog of war thing. Never mind. We'll wait for the next one. So this T-34 pushed up a little too far and its engine is damaged. I'm flanking around this side. I'm just messing with his ATs. I know there's ATs around here. I'm going to turn my tank around so this machine gun can get focused and start shooting, as you can see there. I lost these guys. These guys had half health, keep in mind, and they just got utterly destroyed like instantly. So I'm like, you know what? Whatever. It's all good. They can move forward. They can panzerfaust me. They're going to run right into this Coxel machine gun and take a lot of casualties. Look at them. They're in negative cover right now. I'm just going to push back and lure them further into my trap. So look how many men they're losing right here. And also I have these guys shooting in. And I have these guys right here. They can panzerfaust me and hurt me, but they're going to lose a lot more men. And I can just easily repair. Now I didn't expect I went, oh my gosh, when when this pack started shooting at me. I'm like, oh, back up, back up, back up, back up. What are they building right here? Are they building a mine? They just put down a mine with 4 engineers. They got to pull back there. I like these high-level games because look how concentrated they are in the south. They have MGs and snipers, veterancy troops. You have a bunker right here, man. You need to pull your guys back and reinforce them at least. So he knows we have tanks. Still nothing from these two guys. Still like to mechanize companies. I'm going to check on their fuel really quickly. Let's look at Pete's fuel. Plenty of fuel. No doctrine chosen. Interesting. Lion and Pete did not choose a doctrine. You gotta choose a doctrine. Like that's pretty important. All of us did. It'll benefit you somehow. I got my own snipers out here. I'm like, I'm gonna take out that pack crew once and for all. So I have the fog of war up. So I want to take out this thing because frankly, I think that was the only one I saw, and we managed to clear that out. Just keep in mind, you're only as strong as clearing out your packs. I don't use Soviet snipers very much, but you know I'm starting to use snipers a little bit more now, especially the German one, and especially taking out these kind of packs. I'm trying to keep them in some kind of cover. I don't want them in the river because I don't know what's out here. I don't know if there's any kind of grenadiers. It turns out there's some mortars. So he's gone with a bunch of mortar half tracks. That can kind of backfire when they have a tank. You can see even these guys, like, don't stand in front of the tank when you do that. One, it has the strongest armor there, and the machine gun's doing a lot of damage there. So I'm going to start taking some shots at these guys. I'm surprised how slow these were. I see they're taking a shot at me. Nothing. I watch this, and I see that instantly, and I'm pulling back. That was a light artillery, so I'm simply going to send these guys in. And that has fallen far short. I did bring my tank around to help kind of... I think I was going after a scout car, so I'm just going to flank around. So I have kind of these snipers messing with their AT. This guy's back here. I'm going to take out... First, I'll hit that one time. And my T-34 is getting a little distracted. I'm going to try to take out both of these half-tracks. That's 80 fuel they're losing. I'm telling my snipers I'm clicking rapid orders on this. You know, I'm taking a lot of flak here. These guys are completely pinned. I'm trying to have my goal is to get rid of the machine gun, free up these guys, and hopefully have my sniper shoot. And look, this lady's just looking at the water like going up. That's nice. And that other lady finally took out those guys. These guys are unpinned. Pulling back the tank. Unfortunately, I did not get these two mortar half-tracks. They're kind of in trouble. They just got a Panzer factory. A little late, 15 minutes into a 4v4. And now they're spamming Panzer Force. Let's do this. Let's see if it will... No, it doesn't show you where it is, but it kind of shows you that they're building stuff, so... You can see they are trying to destroy me here. I'm just going to have to fall back with these guys. My engineers are beat up. It took them a while to repair this, but I should have really pulled these guys back and just taken the 2 seconds to heal them up. My snipers are back here. I'm having trouble microing them a little bit. I'm trying to pull my tank back, caring more about the tank than the snipers. And this German sniper counters me and killed him. This sneaky German guy has done a lot. He pulled him back a little premature. But yeah, point blank with these guys do have VT-40s, so they are semi-automatic rifles. They're pretty nice. So now I have this tank here. I see a pack trying to crawl through the mud there, crawl through the small river. I am going to stand right in front of it. And I realize that's probably not a good idea because he has shock troops right there. Why take the unnecessary damage? I think I actually killed one of our own guys there. I killed a shock trooper, but it's okay. They cleared it out, so good work with me and green down here. And then our whole team kind of came down. Well, at least yellow. This guy with his half-track, I was like, oh, cool, I can reinforce my men. I even have them being reinforced. But he's kind of going a little crazy and not kind of helping me. I kind of need those guys reinforced there. But it's just a bunch of T-34s. I think it's interesting to be able to be using the T-34s. I don't use them very much, but in numbers, these guys are great. I mean, they're 100 fuel, they're 15 cheaper than a Panzer IV, and 100 manpower cheaper. If you look at a Panzer IV, let's go to Pete here. Oh, Pete doesn't have a... Some Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer IV. Okay, so they're 10 less manpower, but 15 less fuel, so you can get a lot more of these guys out in the field. Plus, we have 38 fuel a minute because of all the fuel caches. I'm surprised at how little fuel caches these guys have, considering their high levels. So I got my guys to get reinforced there. Very happy about that. They had a machine gun left behind here. But Psal is completely fallen. You know, we're having a lot of northern action. He's kind of pointing to us saying, Panzer Force, the north has fallen. Knows where the victory points are. Keep that in mind. So they're countering us with... Oh, that's the SE. So they're countering us with Panzer Grenadiers and some Gewehren for the infantry. That's Supreme Commander. Simply going to shift his forces around as I'm kind of doing a repair thing. I could have done this. I realized this later. I have plenty of munitions. I just did not feel comfortable with the mines. He's got a shock troops up here pretty much that are going to die, but at least it's showing us where, you know, this is strong. Do not charge with your tanks across the narrow river. They will get destroyed there, especially these later T-34s. So I have my T-34s lined up. We're ready. I have a fourth one being produced. I'm kind of hoping the fourth one gets here before they decide to assault the point. We'll even have these mortar half-tracks. Keep in mind, let's look at Jack for a second. Let's double check how much one of these mortar half-tracks cost. 40 fuel, that's going to put you behind. I mean, one of them is good, but two is way too much. It puts you way behind for the tanks, and a tank can easily destroy it if you don't protect that. Now, he does have the Panzer Grenadiers, let's give him credit, and the AT. So I want you to keep in mind, I stole their MG42. I'm like, I'll take that. I'm tired of the SO stuff getting stolen. So moving in against 3 tanks and these machine gunners in the front of their tank, they're just gonna have to fall back. Keep that in mind. These infantry, they cost a lot. They're good at getting behind tanks on the side, but they cannot just take on 3 tanks. I mean, yeah, pretty much they just got destroyed there. So he pushed up a little bit too far, and they called fire on him. That was not his fire. The Germans now have incendiary for some Luftwaffe generals. Let's switch over to the Germans, see if they pick their commanders. Did he call incendiary fire on himself? He might have, actually. Let's see, one of our allies. Nope, that's... Nope. This guy called Incinerate Fire on him. That's not good. So we're having another push here, and I'm like, I'll meet these guys. I look at priority targets, and the Panzer IV is there. I immediately call an attack order on that. But this pack is now Veteran C1. Use target weak point if you have the munitions. It's great. So see my rockets damage. This is not a good situation for me. I do have the numbers, but I just have to fall back right now. You know, they throw smoke. That shield, that stops their anti-tank from being able to hit me. They have a lot of engineers to repair, including some veteran engineers, which is good. So I'm pulling back. This, I'm like, oh my gosh, my tank's rear is exposed to the enemy. I gotta pull these guys back. I have my engineers here to help. Someone just got destroyed in the top left corner. I have my own half-track down here, and I'm reinforcing. I just want to kind of hold this left side. I figure I can use these guys to go take on this, and I can also use a Sturmovik, which I'm going to use pretty... I mean, I see a perfect target here, so you can see I'm going to move up with the Fog of War. I can see some of these guys retreating. Veteran C3, low health. And I'm even moving up my MG. And there's a sniper there. So I see this, I'm like, perfect target, boom. Lock it down. Lock it down. I was actually going to try to do a satchel charge, but we got slowed up by the river and almost wiped out there. The MG4, those guys did get wiped out by these guys. So I want to help get rid of this one guy here who gets blasted by this guy. They're pretty accurate. So you can see these guys got pushed back. At the north, tons of Shermans along with a ton of T-34s. T-34s and Shermans work very well together. So you can see I a large tank force because of all the fuel. I gotta say, this guy did a very good job with all his fuel caches. Hyuki pretty much gave us a ton of fuel, which helped us fight in this game. This is going to push back from the only victory point they have. This forced them back and damaged them slightly and killed some other men. So keep in mind, do not make a ton of Grenadiers, do not make a ton of MG42s. That stuff is good in moderation, but if you let them build up tanks and you have none to stop them, keeping that in mind, the 10-minute rule. And you know, you can damage the tanks, right? But you have to have someone to follow up. Like these tanks that are down here, they could be used, and they could be used to help, you know, with these wounded tanks. But he's also shooting them. Look how our allies are shielding. His Shermans are providing shields, so these guys can get back and repaired. So these guys are moving up. I'm okay with that. This guy was not fully healed. He managed to destroy that with 3 guns. I'm surprised how quickly that tank went down. I'm gonna sacrifice these guys to get on this anti-tank and outblast this guy apart. Because these guys are still being repaired. I'm okay to lose one of my combat engineers. It's just a... I'm like, yep, that smoke's not gonna help you here, buddy. So I'm gonna block this guy. So I'm pulling this guy back because he's the most damaged. I'm trying to get that veteran C2, and I just gotta pull back. That guy got hit, and the Shermans come down from the flank after this guy's been distracted. I should really pull back up here, but he's still focused on me, and I can't do that. Shermans are great. I think you guys are really going to enjoy them in the alpha. Well, in the DLC expansion that we saw that video for, it's messing up the replays right now. So, yep, just walking around, destroying these guys with their 50 cals on their thing, and he even blocked him there. You can do that with the pathing. You can block some of these guys. Then we have an elephant tank destroyer. And I'm like, oh, it destroyed the Sherman right here. I'm like, you gotta pull back. I pointed that out to him using this on the map. Still no solution to, especially like this, heavy flamethrower tank. Get a decent tank. And the Tiger comes out. Deadly indeed. I'm letting him know there's a tank there, and it's getting a lot of shots. I'm meanwhile one engineer trying to repair these guys. I'm like, oh, wait a second, maybe I can use the vehicle self-repair there. So I'm going to use that. I'm also getting the IS-2. I don't really use the IS-2 very much. Here's the problem. In numbers, your tank can be destroyed. Especially when they get around its armor. It needs to be supported. It is not an IS-2. Anyway, no tank, even a Panzer, even a Tiger couldn't stand up to this. He's just surrounded, can't go anywhere, and that's a ton of munitions, and, well, sorry, that's a ton of manpower and fuel that's just gone. I gotta say, it's like, this video is going to be titled Russian Blitzkrieg just because of that. I mean, look, we have so many different tanks. I love this pattern here. And I'm going to be... I should be using this So I got the 50 cal. We're moving up. I'm gonna help my allies push in the south here. I always feel bad, especially for the guy on this end. Usually, sometimes when I play on this side, I hate being on this end because your base is just utterly exposed for any kind of base rush. And look at that. And I call it Sturmovik on their base, and that's kind of a cheap move technically, but if it was right here and it just started massacring as that would have been bad. So they are pushing in. Look at the look at that. It's just like conscript pioneer combat engineers just overwhelming their anti-tank positions. If these guys had anti-tank grenades, they could hit that transmission and then pick this up possibly. That's exactly what he did. He lost his energy to shock troops though. So he needs to pull these guys back. Pull them back. Pull them back. They're one flamethrower. I got caught on fire. So he tried to shift around, but at least he has a tank. At least he has it facing the tank. Anyway, I kind of sent in all my tanks here. We're kind of having a little bit of fun. There is a little bit of fire right there. And they keep making ATs right here. But I'm going after these lectinized, mechanized companies because I know that's where they're making their anti-tank guns and also their Panzer Grenadiers that have anti-tank. But at this point, they're pretty low on munitions. You can see I've got a pretty decent kill total here. Positive 10. Usually I'm negative with the Soviets. It's just something about the Soviets that make me lose more men. And you can see he's, to a lesser extent, this is actually the guy all the way up north that's now focusing with me on the south. And this guy's finally repairing, ready to get into action. I am capturing that point. So, whenever you hear a Stuka, just move. I think the Stuka should come in faster than that because even though it doesn't have any smoke, you can kind of guess where it was going to be. Like, I heard that coming. Where do you think it's going to go? It's probably going to attack my tanks. Anyway, the north is starting to fall. They've kind of completely pushed back. As you can see, the Tiger is dead there on fire. And just Pioneers to help repair it. It's not very good. Let's see if they pick the Doctrine. Lion needs to pick a Doctrine. Or maybe that's a glitch, because did he have... no, Supreme Commander that had the Tiger. Never mind. So keep that in mind. The reason these guys lost this game is they didn't play bad. They kicked our butt in the south completely. The problem is they went too heavy on Tier 1, and they had nothing to stop the tanks in our massive tank build. Now, you might say it's a little bit of Sherman spam T-34, but these guys are perfectly capable. They had all the fuel. They're perfectly capable of attacking up quickly and getting some of their own tanks. Plus, we worked pretty well as a team together. See, while I'm repairing my guys, I did self-repair on those guys, by the way. Same here. I was repairing that. He was pushing the fights. They were always under pressure. And they kept calling for surrender. But one of them wouldn't want to do it. Supreme Commander kind of quit on us. He did quit, actually. And the funny thing is, his base didn't even get destroyed. Like, we're going after this guy's base, Lion and Pete, and this guy's base just completely destroyed Jack. So you can see that's the Sturmovik going in. That got me a decent amount of kills. So now I'm up to 95, positive 20. Now I'm on my tanks here. I'm trying to pick targets. Generally speaking, if you're a player and they're not making ATs, go right for their Panzer Corps. That will get rid of it. Especially the heavy. These guys skipped and went to heavy Panzer Corps there. We're getting hit by an AT. Thankfully, his IS-2 took that out. And these guys got a lot of experience because I did destroy that building with their satchel charge. And that is good game for these guys practically. They have a couple buildings left that want to move up and help support. It's just fun to have like it's not supposed to be a victory point game, but it was an annihilation game. They do have all the points though, and they still have troops running around here. Thing is, you lose your base, you can't make anything else. And Sturmoviks are going on their base, and these guys just stand no chance. And that was game. All their buildings got destroyed. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Keep in mind, in the south, I think it was battle number 4 I showed, where I went too heavy Tier 1 with the Germans and got this exact thing happen to me with the T-34 just came rolling over and pushed me completely back. So don't go too heavy Tier 1. Keep in mind ATs. And also, when you have both fuel points, try to tech up, try to get some tanks. Remember the 10-minute rule. And I hope you guys learned something from this. Look how much fuel I have. Be a good team player. Put at least 1 or 2 fuel caches down. This guy was a great team player and helped us all out. And Steps are a fun map. Steps in that new map, Angle, is also fun. Angle Mudar. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. Codforman221 signing off.